Welcome back to another episode of Blissful Beings. I'm your host, Janine Cassio, and today we have a very special guest with us.
I'm Alexandra, I'm known as Alexandra Charles, but I've been married. So Alexandra Charles Kersey, and I'm the owner and visionary of Soul Tribes Yoga and Meditation here in Houston.
And I am a big fan of Soul Tribes. I'm so happy to have found this studio. It's like my little healing place, so thank you so much for creating it. What inspired you to create Soul Tribes?
Yeah, I had a big journey myself. I was a very different person 15 years ago, and I got into yoga, which could help me like heal some of my physical issues that I had from being a professional dancer my whole life. And then I also dived really deep into meditation to sort of change some things that were going on that I felt very out of control of. And I just know that how much it helped me change my life for the better.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was teaching yoga, I started in Las Vegas when I first moved to America. After a few years, moved over to Houston, was teaching. And I always just wished that there was somewhere that I could go where I could have my meditation and my yoga practice in one, instead of being like, well, I run to this place and then I run to this place and then I go to see this person. And I had gone back to Australia just for about 9 months to be with some of my family, and then coming back to Houston, knowing that I was coming back to like set roots and really make this home, I wanted to do something that I knew was going to set me up moving forward. And I thought, well, this is the time. Let's do it. Let's create a space where it's all in one. And so that's where I wanted to give something to the Houston community that was, it wasn't around. Like there was the only place it actually closed, and they would do maybe sometimes at the end of a yoga class, they'd do a quick guided like 10-minute meditation at the end in Shavasana, which is the rest part, but there was no dedicated classes.
I agree.
And so I wanted to give Houston, first of all, a non-heated option because they're far and few between. A gentler option for practice in general, instead of always being, about power yoga and sculpting and hard and let's push. It's like, let's do some other stuff too. Like, let's just live. And then of course having that meditation as like actual classes that you can go to, and then that can be all you go to if that's what you want. You don't have to do yoga. So all in one little roof.
I love that.
That was my why.
Yeah, so I am a major fan of the sound baths. So if you guys haven't checked those out, it's a must try. And that's very unique to your studio, which I couldn't find anywhere. So I'm very grateful that you've created that. Just creating a business and having a business, it's just so motivating, and a lot of energy goes into that. And obviously you have to be consistent and persistent and really have a deep why. So what is your big like why? If you could just give us like a brief recap.
My big why. Probably similar to what I said before. I wanted to create something that I knew didn't exist yet.
Yeah.
Right? Because it didn't. And now there's more sound bowls in Houston, and some studios have opened that do that as well now, but we were the first.
Yeah.
And so, and we were the first ones to be like, no, we have dedicated meditation classes. So I think my why was I wanted to create a space that I knew I wanted. And if I wanted it, that means that other people would want it.
Yeah.
And then honestly, to be honest, I also wanted to create it for myself because I have been a professional dancer my entire life, then, doing that and teaching. And it's always, I just wanted something that was like, okay, I've created this. This is my idea. I'm working for myself and I'm getting to do something that I love. That's also setting me up for my life.
Yeah.
Because, a good, in my belief anyway, a good entrepreneur is someone that doesn't always want to end up just working in their business forever. They want to build a business, create jobs, create stuff, and operate. Then you can step back and enjoy.
And that's blissful in itself.
Very blissful. So that was also part of my life.
Yeah, that's definitely blissful. Is there any story that you could share that has helped like so many people? I mean, it's helped me make such a positive impact in my life going to Soul Tribes the past 2 years. But is there any like story that really resonated with you that you've helped like someone and made a really big positive impact since you've created Soul Tribes?
Yeah, I mean,
Sure
there's
to everyone
a
that
few.
goes, but
There's definitely a few things that we hear a lot of, especially in some of maybe our older community, just being non-heated and a little bit more gentle. We have quite a few older people that come,
Yeah.
and I think that they really like it because it's one place that they feel comfortable and welcomed, and whereas for them it's very probably uncomfortable to go to places where it's hot and everyone's taking photos in the mirror, which is totally fine for some people, but I do know that we have some of our members that it is a home away from home for them.
Yeah.
And it is they get to come and they start talking to other members, and so now they have like this community, which is what I wanted. That's why we have such a big open lobby with couches and chairs, because we want people to come in and sit and read a book and have a tea and
it is that everyone's always before coming, like 15 minutes before your class and just hanging out.
And whether they want to relax or they want to chit chat or but I think that makes me really happy is when I've seen and our community in general do that. But I know that I don't know, a little soft spot in my heart is some of the older community and our older members that have that connection still, which I think is really important, because sometimes they can get a little left out.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. Community, that's everything.
Yeah.
That's what yoga is about too, I think, finding that community that you resonate with. Because I've been to a ton of yoga studios, but Soul Tribes is my favorite.
Yeah, and we all resonate with different things. So that's why it's great that there's always different options, because everyone wants different things and at different times in their life.
Yeah, for me personally, like I live in the go-go, right?
Yeah.
So like I want the place that I can slow down and I can be a human being and blissful.
Everyone's
being
like,
self.
be quiet and
like,
be
I'm
slow.
I'm not trying to do no power yoga and then power
life.
The rest of my day. Yeah.
You're like, power
I
never
need
stops.
the balance for sure. If you could see Soul Tribes in like the ultimate version, like what does that kind of look like? Is there like a future vision that you have?
Yeah, it's kind of been a similar vision I've always had for it. I have not really any interest in doing more locations. I think that just sounds like more headaches. But my vision has always been, and still is, I would love to just have full classes, great community. I love that when we do once a year, we do our teacher trainings, which you were a part of last year or this year.
A good experience.
Actually, this year. Was it this year?
Are you going to host that, by the way, this year?
Yes, but we're going to wait till baby's a little bit.
Yeah.
So we'll maybe push it a little bit back. Yeah. But just where we're doing great workshops, great, trainings, and then I'd love to start doing retreats, which we've been working on, but it's just time goes very fast, and then suddenly we're like, a year's finished already. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But yes, that's definitely on the cards of, even if it's just weekend retreats, close by, so that we can, some people can't take a whole week or 10 days off.
For sure.
But they can take a Friday off.
And you offer the online virtual classes, which is awesome.
We still do. Yeah.
I enjoy that too. Sometimes, when you're on tight schedule, you want to just even chime in for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the vision. It's just really great. One location, great classes, great workshops, great trainings, and retreats in the future.
Are you excited to be a mom this coming year? I mean, you already are a mom. You're already there. This year, carrying her around already.
No, it's going to be good. So
love it. Thank you so much for joining Blissful Beings. Where can people find you and connect with you? And where's your studio located? So
studio is located in Spring Branch, so just north of Memorial. It's on Long Point between Wirt and Bingle, so all the main roads. And you can find us at soultribeshtx.com, and of course on social media it's at soultribeshtx for both Instagram and Facebook. Nearly forgot the name, my mum brain's working already. And then me personally on Instagram is at @AlexandraCharles_. But I'm not very exciting on Instagram anymore these days. But the studio is.
The
studio's pumping.
Pumping on marketing. So good job.
Yeah, studio is great. It's a feel good page.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yay,
thanks guys.